I spent the last 4 years mastering e-commerce email marketing, and I've generated $40 million in the process just to lead up to this point where I'm going to spend 5 minutes showing you everything you need to know on how to scale e-commerce brands of any niche through the email channel. No fluff, we're getting straight into it. First, let's talk about email setup. Now, this is a lot easier than you think. Just use Klaviyo. Don't use any other platform. It doesn't matter your size. It's the best in the game. It's not even close. If you want to achieve any sort of scale at all, Klaviyo is the only option. Just look it up on Google, sign up. It literally takes just like 2 minutes. Now, there are 4 main pillars of email marketing that we need to break down. There are pop-up forms, flows, email campaigns, and segmentation. First, let's talk about pop-up forms. You need forms, you need pop-up forms to grow your email list. It's gonna be really hard for people to join your list if you don't have a pop-up, and you're really just making a bad financial move if you don't have this set up. A good form will convert at least 6% of your website visitors into email subscribers. This is so important to nail your forms, because forms are gonna get more out of your ad traffic that you're spending so much to acquire, and allow you to get people's email addresses and convert them over email if they otherwise wouldn't have purchased on the first time they visit your site. Don't skip out on forms. Just take time creating a good one that isn't intrusive for the customer. So right inside of Klaviyo, you can go to sign up forms right here, and you can create your forms right on your site. You can use some other outside platforms. If you really want to get advanced, I'd recommend Amped or Alia, but Klaviyo forms are just fine. So let's quickly walk through it. We can create form and go off of any of their templates. What I found with forms is we want them as simple as possible and make it as easy as possible for the customer to sign up. Something like this is going to have a large image and take a long time to load for the customer, and it's going to hurt your conversions. Typically, I like to start off with just this template. So if we click on, we can name it and apply whatever list we want and then create form. So you can simply click on here and make whatever edits that you want just right inside of here. Some quick tips: you don't want to say continue in the first button because somebody knows they're going to have to enter their SMS. So we just want to start off with like claim now. And then a wording that I've seen work really well for your pop-up forms is saying you've got this discount. This makes the customer feel like they already have the discount, and by closing out of this form, they're losing it. So we can do this. I like to delete any other copy. People know what they're getting on an email list. You can literally do something as simple as this: throw the logo on top, adjust the SMS copy, and you're pretty much good to go. Here's an example of what a good form might look like. Super clear what the offer is, claim 10% off, and then unlock 10%. You can see they don't put the X in the corner. It's actually, you can't see it, and then you make people actually choose unlock my discount or say no thanks. As far as targeting, we're gonna wanna set some sort of time delay. I like to do based on rules over here, and then show for something after like a 6-second time delay is what I found to be optimal. Okay, now we have our pop-up forms and we're able to grow our list. Now let's talk about our email flows. Flows are a series of emails which you can set up and have them fire automatically after a customer does a specific action, such as if somebody abandons their cart or if somebody joins your email list, you can send them targeted emails. These allow you to automate some of your revenue and also create personalized content towards customers based on where they're at in their journey. The key flows that you want to make sure that you have set up are the welcome flow when somebody joins your list, the site abandon flow if somebody goes to your website and then leaves, the browse abandon flow if somebody goes to your website and then views a product and then leaves, the cart abandon flow if someone goes to your site and adds an item to cart and then leaves, the checkout abandon flow if somebody actually goes to checkout and then leaves, and then also the post-purchase flow. You're going to want specific content for each. I recommend having at a minimum 2 to 4 emails in each one of these flows to overcome objections with around a 1 to 3 day time delay in between each email. But here's how you can set up your flows inside of Klaviyo. So again, inside of Klaviyo, we can go to flows here, and you can see like kind of like the flows we have live for this account, and then you can see the time delay. But all you need to do to create flows is you go to create flow up at the top corner here, and then they actually have a ton of templates already set up for you. So I'm actually going to choose the Shopify integration, and then I can see all these different triggers that they have. So you can see like some of the flows that I mentioned before, the cart abandon flow and the browse abandon flow. Then if you scroll down, you can have like the welcome series when somebody joins the list and then leaves, and things like first purchase thank you. For this, we can just go with the first abandoned cart. This is a very important flow. I can do this and kind of just create flow, and it's going to give me the template. So this is what the flow looks like inside of Klaviyo. You have the different emails. You have a conditional split here, which is a little bit advanced, seeing if somebody can receive SMS or not. And then you have time delays, and then you have like this other email. And then most important, you have the trigger up at the top. So if you go to the trigger, you can see that this flow is going to fire for anybody who triggers the checkout started metric, which is going to be set up if you integrate with Shopify. And then you can have filters. So you can see profile filters here. Placed order 0 times since starting this flow. So when anybody is about to receive any sort of email in this flow, it's going to check that these people meet these filter requirements. Because if somebody places an order since starting this flow, we don't want them to receive these emails being like, hey, go recover your cart. If they placed an order, they already bought their cart. And then also just prevent people from being in this flow too much. Hasn't received this flow in the last 7 days. So that's perfect. You can have your time delays. And then if you click onto the email, you can actually see the subject line, preview text, and then also the creatives where you can edit some of the copy and design. Similar to pop-up forms, you can just edit everything right inside of here. Super easy to edit the text, add buttons, whatever you may need, you can drag and drop. And for some emails and flows, you're gonna have dynamic content. Now the next pillar of email marketing, which is slightly different, are your email campaigns. Campaigns are probably the typical emails you think of. These are the emails you're sending at one time to a certain part of the list on specific dates. So things like product launches or sale email. If I wanted to launch a 24-hour sale email, I'm just going to create my sale email, click send, and send it to everybody on my list. Campaigns are really important for keeping your list engaged over time and also getting consistent revenue. You want to stay consistent so you're staying top of mind with your customer base. All sorts of different ads on social media, and they're also receiving emails from other brands, and you don't want to get lost in the mix. The top brands are sending 3 to 4 emails per week, roughly every other day. At minimum, you want to make sure that you're sending 2 times per week, or else your engagement and your revenue is going to fall off a cliff. Now, you're going to annoy your list if all you're sending is sale, 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 buy my stuff, buy my stuff. So you want to make sure that you're sending value to your email list. Things like, these are the top 10 tips for this, or here's how to use this, or blog posts, whatever you can do to engage with your list and bring them value and build up goodwill. Here's a list of 29 value-based email campaigns that you can send to your list. You can save this or screenshot it, whatever you need to do, but these are really the only types of emails that you need to send. And if you're going to do sales and whatnot, I'd recommend only 1 or 2 every month. Other than that, just focus on these emails and you're gonna build up a passionate fan base. Here's how you can build simple email campaigns inside of Klaviyo. So we just wanna go to the campaign section up here. Very similar to flows, we can just create a campaign. You can click continue and move on to clicking our list. Now we're gonna talk about lists and segments in the next pillar, but I can just say we wanna send to our non-buyers and our buyers who are engaged in the last 120 days. And so you move on to subject line, preview text, sender name, and sender email. So you can say buy our stuff, whatever you're doing for your subject line, blah, 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 for your preview text. And then you can go to their templates. You can create a blank email or use their template library right here. You can see there's stuff that you can start out with. We can go through and maybe let's just click this one for this example. And just like with flows, you have this editor right here where you can drag and drop and replace everything that you need. Or you can even start from nothing. You can delete all this and do whatever you want to do just by dragging and drop different text boxes, such as adding a headline right here, and then maybe you add an image underneath, and then maybe under that you want to add a button with a link that goes to your site, which you can click shop now, and then link address, go to your website. Now this template's kind of throwing things off, so I'd recommend starting with a blank template, and you can even adjust and look at how it looks like on mobile. And then when you're ready to send your campaign, say we're good to go, you can just click next, check your details, and send this email off or schedule it. That simple. Now the last pillar of email marketing I want to talk about is your segmentation. Segmentation is how you organize your email profiles, and it's who you can send emails to. Segmentation gets a lot of buzz, but it's actually really, really simple. You can do all sorts of things with segmentation, pretty much any data that you have on the customer based on how often they purchased, how often they're opening emails, what their activity on your website is, what their interests are. You can find all these users with your segments. But for my 7 and 8 figure brands that we work with, we typically just send to our engaged email list. Just anybody who's interacted with our emails over like a 60 to 90 day period. We don't want to blast emails to everybody on our list because your list is going to be full of fake profiles, dead profiles who aren't opening any emails, and people who just aren't interested anymore. And if you send to everybody, then you're going to hurt your open rates as less people are opening your emails, and inbox providers like Gmail are going to see that not a lot of people are opening your emails, and you're more likely to land in the spam folder. So this is the key segment that really is all you need. Go inside of Klaviyo and then go over to your audience and then lists and segments, and then we can create a new segment and then name it base engaged. What we want to do is just want to do what somebody has done, and then we can just say opened email at least once in the last 60 days. And then we can add something else rather than or, we're going to say and. Somebody's opened email and someone can or cannot receive marketing. They can receive email marketing because they're subscribed. So just like that, that's what you can do. You can get even more fancy by doing things like if somebody's placed an order before, such as what somebody has done, we can find the placed order Shopify metric. You can say like at least once and then change it over all time. But that's really not necessary. I urge you just to send campaigns broadly to your engaged list. And then you can create segment, and then it's going to calculate how many people actually qualify for this. That's everything you need to know about email marketing, condensed in as short of a time frame as possible. Now, under 10 minutes just is not enough time to give you everything you need to know about email marketing, so that's why I created this 2-hour free course on email marketing that you can watch just by clicking here. It's super in-depth, and I go step by step on how I've used this to scale 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands from revenues to $250K a month to over $1 million a month. Check out that video, and I will see you in the next one.